Hi everybody and welcome to the Mental Toughness and Body Show. My name is Rob Evans and I'm your weight loss coach, health strategist and internationally published author, helping take your life and your business, your health, fitness, body and mindset from where you are right now to being absolutely unstoppable. And today I want to talk to you about the invisibility that controls you. What am I talking about? Those invisible things that happen throughout every single day that will determine exactly what our outcomes are going to be. Not just for that day, not just for that week, not just for that month, but they're forming these habits for the rest of our life. And yet they're invisible. And you think, well, if they're invisible, how could they be so powerful? How could they have such an impact in our life if we can't see them? Are they not really there if you can't see them? That old saying about if a tree falls in the forest and no one's there to hear it, does it really make a sound? Well, this is a similar concept. If it's invisible, how can it have such a deep impact on us? So there are 5 things that I'm talking about here. The invisibility that controls us. Let's talk about the first one, which is focus. Is focus visible? No, it's not. But what you focus on determines where your energy goes. So if you're focused on watching more movies, focused on sleeping more, focused on not working out but resting, focused on not worrying about what it is that you're eating, focused on being busy for the sake of being busy, focusing on social media, focusing on addictions, obsessions, whatever it is. If you focus on those negative things, then that's where your energy is going to go. That's where you're going to be spending your time. And that's what's going to slowly disempower you. But if you choose to focus on those things that empower you, that are going to build you up, then you can get a completely different outcome as well. If you're focusing on those things that are going to grow you, focus on progressing, focus on setting some goals, focus on growing your health, improving your health, focus on dropping some body fat, focus on building some muscle, focus on getting more sleep, focus on getting more water, focus on getting some more strength workouts done through the week. Focus on growing your income. Focus on getting some more clients. Guess what? All of those things, where you focus on those, you'll get change. I guarantee you this, whatever you focus on, that area of your life will grow. If you focus on sleep, you'll get more sleep. If you focus on being mean to people, you'll get meaner to people. If you focus on getting leaner and stronger and healthier and fitter, you will get leaner, stronger, healthier and fitter. But you can't see the focus. The focus is in your mind's eye to see it. It's not something you can physically touch. It is invisible. But if you focus on it deeply enough, that invisible becomes visible because you can see it so brightly in your mind's eye that you will not stop until you get there. The next one is about drive. Now, some of these you'll say may be closely related, and maybe that's true. But I see them, for me personally, as different things. Drive, that drive to get things done. Work ethic, if you like. You can't see work ethic. Well, in some ways you can see work ethic because work ethic is showing up and getting those things done. But the drive element of getting things done, you can't see. It's something that comes from within you to take the action. You can't see it. You can see the outcome, which is taking the action, but you can't see the drive. That's invisible, but so important. Again, linked very closely to focus. If you're focusing on anything, you'll be driven more to get there. The key is we've got to focus on those right things to empower you, to grow you, to progress you in life and get you from where you are right now to that next level in each of the areas where you want to grow in your life. Passion. You can't see passion. Again, you can see the outcome of the passion, but it's got to come from within you. The passion for me right now, I might sound passionate in the way that I'm speaking to you because I'm excited about this. It's really important to focus on those things that we'll just think about those things that are invisible in our life that can really dramatically change how we live and change the outcomes that we have in our life. I see the work that I do now with people on their mindset, coaching them to make those changes, that's exciting for me because that's where we get the change. When I can see that somebody has connected with what I'm saying and they start to achieve those daily changes in their life, that's when their whole life changes, and that's what I get excited about. So passion. Passion comes from the soles of your feet, in the bottom of your shoes. You can't see it, but you can damn well feel it. It comes up through the soles of your feet, up through your gut, into your heart, into your mind, because it is so strong, it is so powerful. It's something that you feel so strongly about that you will never ever stop in that particular area because it means so much to you. And that meaning is invisible as well. It's something that you've created by the words, the emotion, the outcomes that you're attaching from what it is that you're passionate about in you to get that excited feeling within you. A lot of people don't have it. A lot of people don't search for that passion. They have hobbies and things that they enjoy, but they don't dig deeply enough to find what is that thing that they're truly, truly passionate about. And even though I've been very passionate about what I do for over 33 years now, I haven't always done it as a career because, to be frank, I didn't see how I could make money out of doing what I'm doing now all those years ago. I've been doing what I've been doing now for about 12 years, but 12 years. But I never saw how I could make money out of it before that 12 years. But because my passion was so strong in this area, I said, well, it doesn't matter. I'm going to make it work because it means so much to me. I want to talk to you about goals now. Now, your goals, again, the outcomes of the goals are non-visible, okay? But the process of making the goals, creating them in your head, that is also invisible. They're thoughts, words that you are manifesting, connecting together to create what you see as something that is life-changing for you, really exciting for you. Because once you achieve it, that's going to change your life. But they're not visible to start with. You can't see them. But you can sure as heck know that they're going to completely change your life when you achieve them. That's incredibly important. And yet, if you look at those people in your life, those achievers in your life, you know how driven they are to set their goals, how driven they are to achieving their goals. Look at people that are millionaires, billionaires. You think they've had some goals? If they didn't have some goals to get to where they are now, they wouldn't be where they are. They know the importance of doing it, but it starts as an idea in the headspace of, what do I want to do? How am I going to achieve this? Is this what I really want? They start off as invisible thoughts in our head. And yet I can tell you, when I have been focused, when I've been driven, when I've been passionate, when I'm in that space, that's when I become creative. That's when I set the goals that I want to achieve. That's when I make the goals more and more challenging. That's when I get excited about it. That's when life starts to change. That's when you can see yourself going from one level to the next because each goal is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. That's really exciting. The last one I want to talk to you about is self-talk. The words that you use to yourself are so critically important. And yet most of us walk around or sit around, lie around, driving, whatever we're doing, and the words that we use to ourselves can be so incredibly damaging. I come from a place from decades ago where my self-image, my self-talk was really, really poor to myself. It wasn't good. And how did that make me show up each day? Not in a good place. Not in a good place at all. I'd feel down. I would continue to build on my poor self-image, and I'd make it worse. I'd make up these stories in my head about lack of self-belief, lack of, who I thought I was. It was always a glass half empty type story. Not a good place at all. So I had to learn how to change that self-talk, to change it from being negative and downward looking to becoming more passionate, more focused, more driven, more goal setting. What did that do? That gave me the sense through the action, it gave me that ability to see what I was capable of, because by consistently doing those things and having a better self-image and self-talk, I got better outcomes. If you're walking around always talking down, always talking down, always being negative, not seeing the good in things, not being proactive in your actions, then you're really going to struggle. You're not going to move forward. You're always going to be that way. And I'm sure you either know people or have known of people in the past that are like that. Spending time with them is exhausting. Everything is negative. Everything is so much hard work for them. Nothing's going right. They're always the victim. And that's what I did for so many years. I played the victim in my own life story until the day that I realised that, how's that working out for you, Rob? Not very well. I decided to change. There's no point in keeping on doing the same thing and expecting a different outcome. That's never going to work for you. So change the story. And I was always looking for someone else to come along and change it for me, whether it be with a certain type of person, whether it be a partner, whether it be a coach or something, to change those things. But until I was ready to change the language that I was using to myself, changing that story, I was never going to change. And the day that I did, that's when everything else started to change. Not just like that, but it was an accumulation. The moment was to make the decision to change and then consistently do those things that I'm talking to you about right now, those invisible things. And it's really, really hard. Life can be tough sometimes, can't it? It can really throw us a lot of challenges. And when I'm talking about the importance of these things, your focus, your drive, your passion, setting your goals, that positive self-talk, they're so critical to your success. And yet we can't touch them. They're invisible. So that's perplexing, isn't it? All of these things start off and often remain in our mindset. It's only through the action that we take, because of the momentum of those 5 invisible things, that we create this ability to change our own life, change so many other people's lives as well, because we're contributing more. You are giving more of yourself. You are getting much better outcomes for everybody concerned, because you just keep going from one level to the next, to the next, to the next. It's invisible. But the invisible, which can sometimes seem impossible, becomes possible and becomes visible because of the action that you take as a result of staying focused on these 5 elements that are invisible in our mind. You make them strong, you make them bright, and then you make them a reality. And that takes courage, because we often are fearful of ideas that we have. And let's face it, you're going to have ideas that are going to go nowhere. You might think it's a great idea and you become passionate about the idea, but you don't do anything about the idea. But those ideas that just stay in your head and you never manifest them to anything because you don't believe in yourself, or you're not as focused, or you're not as driven or passionate, or haven't created some goals around it, then it's not going to happen for you. My book's a perfect example of that. Awaken the Sexy Within. I talked about it to myself for 3 years. I verbalized it at some point over those 3 years. So I'm going to write a book. But nothing really happened. I started it, and then it just kind of sat there. I said, yeah, I'm still working on it. And then I started to get people ask me about it, and then I started to feel guilty that I wasn't really doing anything about it. And I just kept making up stories as to, oh yeah, I'm working on it, but I've got this going on right now, so I can't do it. But instead, I got sick of that, and I started saying, I said this to myself first, I'm going to get it written in 12 weeks. I just said, that's it, I've had enough. I'm sick of playing around with this. I'm just going to do it. And that's what I did. I focused on a deadline, and it wasn't the end of a month. It wasn't like the 30th or the 31st or anything like that. I can't remember the actual date, but I'm going to say something like, say, the 18th of August, something like that. It was a very specific date. I focused on it. I was driven because I was frustrated by how long it was taking me to get to this point. Once I got that momentum going, that was really easy to keep going because I was so passionate about finishing this book. So I'd set the goal, really important, and that self-talk every day. That's when I started getting up at 4:20 in the morning. I thought, I'm going to get 2 hours written on the book every single day, 7 days a week, until I get this thing written. And that's how I approached it. I created this enormous amount of energy, focus, and momentum to get it done. But for many years, it just sat there as an idea until I said, I'm sick of this. Change it. Let's get it done. You're worth putting this energy in to get this done because it's been so important to you. And up to now, you've just really talked about it. So let's stop doing that and let's just take it to the next level. All invisible elements that I took from the back part of my mind to the forefront to create the reality and make the invisible visible. And what I thought was impossible for me at some point in my life, where I hated English, I couldn't string together a good paragraph, to writing a book and have it picked up by a US publisher. It's what stuff like the stuff that dreams are made of. If I can do things like this, you can certainly do it as well. Now, if you want to connect with me, you sure can. Go to thementaltoughnessandbodyshow.com, opt in for a free consultation on that page, and let's make 2021 your best year yet. Please stay safe. I'll see you tomorrow.